again. Everybody, I want to welcome you into this part of the call tonight, this part of the webinar tonight, and I want to introduce you to somebody who means so much to me. This is my business, life, and leadership coach, Terra Carbo of Carbo Consulting. That's spelled C-A-R-B-O. And Terra, welcome in.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So glad that you're here. We're really glad that you're here. I'm not going to say too much except that this is where it all began for my relationship with Terra. I think most of you here know Kelly Vincent and Tina Malsum, unless you're not part of our business yet. But in about November, December, Kelly said to me, Julia, if you really are serious and you really want to move forward in this business and your other businesses, you're really going to have to get a coach, because you can only get to a certain point by yourself. And if you want to get to that next level, you're going to need some help. And magically Terra appeared. So Terra, I'm going to turn it over to you, and please share with everyone your philosophy and what you do.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, so again, my name is Terra. I have always been an entrepreneur. I've done lots of direct sales. I've had 2 companies, and about 6 years, well, I'll share this. I want to share a win, actually. I don't know if you guys share wins on your calls, but we always start our calls with sharing wins. My husband and I got married when we were 18, and we just celebrated our 20-year anniversary last week. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you guys. That's super exciting and a big part of my story, actually. Thanks. So we got married at 18, super unconventional. We told our parents after we got married, immediately had 3 kids, started a business, and bought a house. We like to be up to big challenges and pioneer new things. And, as it would be, we succeeded a lot and lost a lot, failed a lot, whatever, learned a lot. And about exactly 7 years ago, actually, because my business just had its 7th birthday too, I started a fundraising company, and it was more successful than I anticipated. And all of a sudden I was surrounded by a bunch of staff members, and I didn't ever have a staff before. I didn't know how to do that. So my husband hired a business coach to help us with our company. And in so doing, totally fell in love with coaching, and both for his personal transformation and as a support structure for our company. And that was the introduction for coaching for us. So a couple of years later, I took the coach training program as a student, and really for my personal development and just transforming myself as a human being. And I didn't realize it, but then I fell in love with it as a career and started my practice. So my training, I love saying this because it makes me feel smart, but I'm an ontological life, business, and leadership coach. And all ontology is the study of being human. So a lot of our work is around, okay, well, who are we being right now? How are we showing up? What energy are we bringing into the experience? What beliefs are we having that's having us show up this way? And that is going to flavor all that we do. It's going to flavor our relationships. It's going to flavor the next hour of phone calls you make. It's going to flavor how you envision your growth in building your company, building whatever you're building. It really gets all over all that we do. And learning this stuff gave me such amazing facility with how to label the experiences I was having, right? Because sometimes I felt great and I'm $1 million. I can go out and create anything. The next day I feel shitty, like I can't get myself together. I don't know why. And I just thought it was me, right? Lo and behold, it's the human experience. So relieving to find out, right? And so learning how humans behave, and that all of us, everyone, every human alive knows deep down inside of us that we are amazing creatures. Like, we can create all this stuff. We see a big life and a big vision for us. Sometimes we bury it and tuck it safely away after decades of not believing it. But in all of us, we have this knowing. And inside of all of us too, we have a survival mechanism, which I like to call our like inner gremlin, who tells us all the bad stuff about us and reminds us of what we don't have and what we didn't create. And both of those stories play in our minds all the time. And so that's how we end up a lot of times showing up this disempowered way, relating to, okay, it didn't work for the last 6 months, so I really got to give it my gusto this time, or whatever, is going to have your experience flavored with a certain tint. And our family members see it, our prospects see it, our team members see it, and it has a huge impact on what we're creating. And so I am so like thrilled that I get to bring that knowledge and that partnership to my clients and my groups to help us get elevated on top of our experience and see like, oh, this is what's happening. Not a big deal. Like, I'm going to put some support structures in place. I'm going to learn something new, and I'm going to, you know, actually focus on what I really want to create for my life. And it really helps us when people say get out of our own way. This is what that means.
I totally agree with you, Terra, 100%. And it's interesting because Steve, who's on the call tonight, just said, you definitely need a coach to help you raise the lid. And I thought that really is a beautiful expression, raising the lid, getting it up and over. To give everybody who is also here with us tonight kind of an idea, when I started working with you, I think what had happened was I hit associate within 12 days of starting my business, like boom. And then I got so stuck, and it was incredible. And everything that you've said there, as far as what I was bringing, and this panic and this intense feelings, you know, that was so visible. You know what they say, that desperation is a stinky perfume. Daryl just said John Maxwell, great point. Okay, great. Yeah, thank you, Daryl. I agree. So what I was hoping for everyone here, because I love you all so much, and I say it all the time, and I tell you all how much I love you all the time, because I totally do, is...
She does. She tells me every week how much she loves
me. I try to tell you guys all too how much I love you. Like, there's never been anything that has been this exciting to me, that I've loved talking to people. I love talking to everybody this much. I get carried away doing it. But I brought Terra in because she is giving us a remarkable, generous offer, because that she and I have had such incredible excitement and growth in my business. I was like, is there any way that you could work with the team? And she said, absolutely. So Steve, I see Steve just commented that he has to jump on something else. So Steve, we'll make sure you get the rest of this call, and we'll make sure that this call is recorded and shared with everyone, because there are other people who are interested. But Terra, can you share with everyone what that offer is that you're going to extend?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So I have a private practice, and I also have some spaces in my calendar for group programs. And normally my private coaching rate is $800 a month, and my normal group rate is $400 a month. I don't know why. Like, I love network marketing and direct sales, and I don't know what it is. Like, my heart just opens. Like, I know the struggles of learning something new and working hard for it, and it's like extra on top of what you're already doing with life. Like, something like just hits a soft spot for me, and I would love to work with you guys and support you all in your visions and your journeys and what you're creating here. So I told Julia that I could open two groups I could open up two groups for you guys. And the reason I say two is because we don't put more than 5 people in one group. And so essentially that's 2 groups, 5 people each. So I can take 10 people into these groups for $200 a person. So $200 per person per month for a 6-month term. We like to give coaching a solid 6 months to just really get the structures and the new habits and all defined. And if everybody wants to like do it again, great. I've worked with my coach for 3 years, so if it works, you know, keep going. And the logistics for that, and you all can unmute and ask questions whenever you want. I'm not used to being on calls where I can't see faces and everyone's muted. So like, if you want to chime in, like, let's talk about it together. The logistics are that we would meet on Zoom once a week for 4 calls a month. So essentially it's once a week, but there are those funky months that have a 5th week, and so we do 4 a month.
I think it's a marathon with Luke.
Is he talking to us? Okay, so Julia, you're muted.
I will unmute. Okay, that's just funny. That was priceless. Okay, so I am not sure, but let's see if we can. Okay.
And I'm gonna put my contact information in the chat.
That's a great idea, actually.
So it's, if anybody has any questions, I'd love to answer them. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say and what questions you have. And then I can fill in the gaps.
Wonderful. That sounds really good. You can raise your hand. There's Terra's phone number. And you guys, basically what's going to happen is that I'm going to reach out to everybody and make sure everybody has a copy. There are some other people that were not on the call who've already said, yes, this is definitely for me. So we know that we have at least one group fully done.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're building a second one or whatever. This is absolutely for anyone who wants to get to the next level in their business, but it is not specifically about Asirvia. I do want to mention that. And I say that because I didn't come to Terra with an Asirvia issue. It was business, and it was all of my businesses. And if you guys don't know, I have many. But I know everybody that's here does too. Like, I'm looking at everybody's face and everybody here has a bunch of businesses. So,
and that's something to speak to also, like integrating that all together and not feeling like you're spinning plates. Being with prospects and customers and team members and family and yourself, and making sure you get some well-being in there. And after all, this is life. So the whole point is that we're enjoying our experience. So there's a lot of things, like we focus on one thing and everything else falls apart. So this really helps like zoom out and say, okay, like what's big picture? What am I actually trying to create? And then putting accountability and team around it. So you have support.
Yes, that's absolutely right. So 2 of our friends just had to pop out for other meetings, but they are both getting copies. Daryl asked a very, very powerful question. Daryl, do you want me to unmute? I'm going to unmute you, Daryl. I can if you want. Oh, I can unmute Daryl.
Well, and I can speak to that. I don't say that I integrate NLP training into all that I do. I have some NLP training, but it's, I guess it's optional. If somebody wants to bring it up and talk about it and get support around it, fair game. Yeah.
I was to say, I don't think we've ever talked about that, but
no.
I've done NLP.
It's not something I primarily do, but I have taken courses on it.
I will say that a lot of times what is interesting is that we'll either talk about an issue that's going on and a struggle around that issue. Like, you know, I think that all of us can speak to the phone is too heavy for me to pick up and I can't make a phone call. Or this doesn't seem to be working the way I thought it would work. And so how do I talk to people? The next person I speak to, I don't want them to know that I don't want to bring my upset to this next phone call. What do I do? And looking at some of the people who are on this call, we have a lot of real heavy hitters here, which is every single person that I'm looking at is all business to business. You know, they bring business to business efforts into their business. Every one of them have been a heavy hitter and a success-oriented person. So, which is very exciting, actually. And so everybody that's here will have business to business related issues that might drag into other things might be going on. But the other thing that Terra has worked with me on is actually accomplishing projects. And those projects can be, there's a million things we've done, right, Terra? I mean, we've done education of how to look at things as far as that, and then And a project could be like, I want to accomplish these things, and breaking it down and doing step by step and having somebody to be accountable to has been life changing, right? I mean, you've seen it, you know, and I think that's pretty amazing. So Terra, where should we go from here? As far as, you want to have people call you, I'll reach out to everybody else. They can call you.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So we do want to, the vision is to start these 2 groups at the beginning of September. So like Julia said, we're pretty sure that one is already full. And I don't want to extend them past 5 people. It doesn't serve the group. So if anyone knows that they are a definite yes, so people fall in 1 of 3 camps. People fall into hell yes, I'm in, like send me the agreement. They fall into yes, but, which means yes, I'm interested, but I have some objections or some logistics need to work out. It's usually time or money. Which is an amazing conversation for everyone to be a part of, because I'm certain you've talked to people about one of those 2 objections recently. That's actually a huge part. That's how I know, right? That's weird. I haven't been in that conversation at all. Weird. Handling objections is probably my favorite topic, and you guys, I'm sure would love to talk about that together. And so for the people in the yes but category, definitely let's hop on the phone, right? And objections are awesome because almost everyone has objections. And the thing that we want to do as people providing a service is actually draw out the objections on purpose and just get into relationship with people and talk about them. Like, hey, you're over there, you want this. Let's talk and figure out how you can get what you want, right? So that's all handling objections is. So reach out to me and let's schedule a phone call and talk about what's in the way so we can get that out of the way for you. And then there's people who are just, no, like that sounds great for someone else, but not for me. And so thanks for listening to me for 28 minutes. I appreciate it. Anyway, so whichever camp you fall in, just let me know right away so that we can make sure you're one of the 10 if you think this might be for you.
And Terra's phone number is 443-677-2114. I see we have some phone callers, so I want to make sure it's.
Oh, right. Thanks.
44. Well, yeah. I mean, it's 443-677-2114. But you guys can reach out to me on Facebook or on or whatever. I mean, you guys can reach out to me on my phone. Terra's email is Terra, Tara, big BIG rocks ROCKS @gmail.com. You are a rock climber, Terra?
I love this. Okay, so I'll share a 1-minute version of this. I actually created the email because of the training around putting your big rocks in your schedule first, and then your pebbles, and then your sand, and then your water, of how to prioritize the things that are most important to you. But it's so funny because my other company is actually, I am a custom diamond jewelry maker. So big rocks are diamonds. And then just because I like pioneer my way through everything, people think that I mean that I just have big rocks. So I'm going to accept all 3.
That's awesome. I love it. Okay.
And so, maybe one day I'll take up rock climbing, so you can have 4 different.
There you go. Rock climbing. So my company is word of mouth. And that's because I was always working with dentists and restaurants in the beginning.
Oh,
so word of mouth eat, word of mouth chew. I mean, word of mouth teeth. It was always funny.
That's awesome.
All right, you guys, I'm going to release you off into the wild. Terra, you have been amazing. Thank you for your generous time.
Oh, yes, I'm so excited to work with you guys. Yeah, please reach out, and I'll try to keep Julia, definitely keep Julia up to speed with who has said yes and got their agreements into me. Yeah, so definitely reach out if you have any questions so that we can talk and get them answered for you. And thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. And thank you guys for staying on and meeting my wonderful coach, my wonderful friend. And is this a cell? Oh, that's a cell number, Linda. So
yeah, feel free to text away.
You can text.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's perfect. I think, one last thing I'm going to say. One last thing. If if you're constantly saying or thinking, I don't have time for that. If that's your instant, oh my God, I don't have time for that. Or if it's, I don't have the money for that, or I can't afford that. If either one of those things comes into play, then I'm going to tell you that Terra has been instrumental in taking that out of, she never said, don't say that anymore, but it doesn't, I don't say that anymore like I used to say, hey, Sharon, honey. I don't say that anymore because it doesn't, I don't have that as a block anymore. It's like my time just got bigger and expanded bigger, and I've taken on more things, which is shocking. But if either one of those two things come up in your brain, and you want to expand how much time you have, this is a great way to learn how to do that. All right, last time I'm going to give it out because Sharon just jumped back on in case Sharon needed this. Sharon, this is Tara's phone number. You can text her or call her. It's 443-677-2114. All right, kids, you guys have been amazing. I love you all so much. And I love you, Tara, for being here. Thank you. So you guys have a wonderful night, and I will send out the recording. Bye, guys.
Bye.